it's Mary, and I have video 4 ready for you right here for the Rock the Mock Bootcamp video series. This is the 4th in a series of 4 videos. You can go back to my channel and catch the other 3. It doesn't matter if you go out of order, it's totally fine. But these are basically the criteria that VIPKID is looking at when they score you for your mock classes. So what you can do is watch the videos and take notes, take that criteria, plug it into your lesson, work it all together, add your expertise, add your personality, add your own unique flair, right? And rock the mock class. So this gives you a good foundation to get you started and on your way to being a VIPKID teacher. The first thing that we're going to talk about today, this series is going to be, or this video is going to be best practices. And the first part of that is the speaking ratio. So when we talk about the ratio, what we mean is the student to teacher ratio. How often is the student speaking compared to how often you're speaking? Now with the younger students, the lower level, so Mach 1 class and also the first part of your Mach 2, it needs to be 50-50. So basically everything you say, they are repeating. So you say it, they repeat it the whole time. And sometimes you have them say a word 3 times, so you'll say help, and they'll say help, and then help, help, and then help, help, and then I do my monster, help. But regardless, they're repeating it every time you say it. That means there is not any room for incidental language from you. Incidental language is when you say something like, let's say you're introducing yourself. You say, hello, my name is Mary. What is your name? They should say, hello, my name is Jenny. Okay? I just taught it Jenny, that's why I said that. Anyway, then you don't go on and say, let's go ahead and get started now. Are you ready to begin class? No, that's a lot of words. You got to cut those back, and really you're just saying the bare minimum. So in the mock class, one of the things is for you to have them act out a picture. And some people I've seen in practice videos and whatever, and just examples, that they will say, can you, let's say it's smile, that's not one, but let's say it is, can you smile? Show me a smile. Can you smile? That's too many words. When you see those words in the mock class, you say, smile, smile. And then you can listen for them to say it and watch them smile, okay? So whatever the word is, nod, nod. That's it, you say the word. You don't say, can you nod for me? Let's nod together. No, it's too much. They don't know all that. So 50-50 with the student, with the lower level. They're repeating what you're saying. You're keeping everything basic, 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 bare minimum. Follow the slides, follow the teacher directions, and you'll be fine. Now with the older students, it is actually 30-70. So you are going to speak less than the older student, which sounds crazy. I know, I was there. I looked at that and thought, how are they even gonna know what to say? They can't read, but they can. So when it says, have the student read the slide, that's what you do. And I would just say to them, can you read the sentences? Or you can even just say, can you read? And maybe point to what you want them to read, maybe circle the paragraph or whatever if they seem confused, but then they will read to you. So you want to keep that at 30-70. They're talking more than you on the older student. Now this is for Mach 2, the second half. That's what we mean when we talk about the older student. So that should be 30-70. The younger student is 50-50. The next thing is adapting to the student as you go. Now every student is different, and in the mock class, this probably doesn't apply a whole lot because your mentor is going to act like you would expect them to act for the most part. But if you get a student that is more kinesthetic, hands-on, then you're gonna do more circle, draw a line, underline, circle, that kind of thing so that their hands can be involved. Do a lot of high fives with them and really adjust. If the student is more visual, let's say you get an older student and they are more visual, then you can circle things on the screen and say, you know, like I said, for them to read this, point out what you want them to read. Or if they are more verbal, audio, and they need to read, then let them read. I have students who will automatically start reading a slide that I'm supposed to read to them. I let them read that. Like, you can adjust that. If that's their level, that's where they're at, and that's their need, it's okay to adapt that. So in your classes, especially once you start teaching, that is something you're going to want to watch for and just adapt to the student. Another thing, if you get a student that likes to move a lot, like they're just all over the place and up and down, and in and out and excited, then work with that too. Give them chances to move. You can do that with the vocabulary. If it's the word baby, let them show you the motion for baby. Or cat, pretend you're a cat. Just give them chances to get those wiggles out, and that'll help the lesson go smoother for you. You also really want to adapt to their personality. Sometimes I have a student, when I say, hello, how are you? Because I have regulars now, right, that are repeating. Some of them are like, I am happy, how are you? And I say, I am happy too. But I have this one little girl who is like, I am happy. So when she does that, I reciprocate and I say, I'm happy too. And we get very excited together. The whole lesson is kind of like that. Like, she's just really on fire and excited and excitable. And that's her personality. So I just go with it and I let her have fun and let her drive that. At the same time, I have a student who's really serious, very sincere, just wants to get the work done. So we buckle down and we do the work. So you have to be able to adapt and go with the flow with different students. The next thing is patience, and I think we talked about this in another video, but I am going to touch on it here too. You cannot be afraid of wait time. So give the student time to answer. If you have a question or you've said something that they're supposed to repeat or you're waiting for them to read, wait. Don't interrupt them and don't rush them. Students do not like to feel rushed. Now, once you're teaching, and even in the mock class, there may be a lag, just depends on the connection. But if there's a lag and they start talking, but you don't think they're talking yet because of the lag, and then you start talking, then that interrupts them, and then they'll be like, oh, what? Wait, what? So it just messes everything up. So just wait. Wait and give them time to respond. And a lot of times with students, you can see them thinking about it. With my students, I'll see them like going over something in their head, and I just wait. I'm ready, I'm listening, I'm alert. I'm not like, right? I'm just patiently waiting. So give them that time. Don't be afraid of the quiet time there. You don't want it to be like, 35 seconds of silence, but give them the moment, okay? The next thing is to be transcending, to transcend, to go beyond the PowerPoint. Now with your mock classes, you're not going to have a lot of opportunity to do this, just because the first one is a lower level student, the second one, the first half, is a lower level student. But maybe with the second half, the upper level student, you could go beyond the PowerPoint and extend their learning a little bit. The next thing actually is extending, and these kind of go hand in hand. So transcending and extending, you're going to go beyond and extend their learning using their prior knowledge of that topic. So when you're transcending, you're using that prior knowledge to help explain a concept. I have a student that we have been doing a lesson on cultures, and when we talk about, we're into like the third or fourth lesson on cultures, so he already knows it's food, it's art, it's music. So now we go beyond that, and we've talked about specific foods that he eats compared to what I eat, and things that they like that we don't like, or things we like that they don't like. So you can go beyond that once you get to know the student, especially to further their knowledge and just help them understand in full what that means. To extend, it's very similar. You're going to take their knowledge that you know they already know and extend their learning. So if you have time at the end of the Mock 2 where you have the older student, if you have time, you can extend those slides. You can teach them something new. You can go a little further using the knowledge that you know they already have. Check those teacher notes because it will tell you what the student already, what their prior knowledge is. So check that, and then be ready if you have time, to extend that lesson. So with the culture student, with the my culture lessons, we extend that. Like I explain Christmas further, for example, because Christmas is something we do in our culture in America. They have the Chinese New Year. So to extend, when we have time, which we often do because he rushes, I explain what Christmas is like, and he explains what the Chinese New Year is like. So it's getting him to talk and share details, and it's also helping him learn more about our culture. So that's the idea of those two. Again, in the mock class, I don't know. I don't think I did that probably because you're just like trying to get through the slides and trying to make sure you pace everything right and do it on time and everything, and you don't add extra language. So look at what their prior knowledge is and only extend and transcend if there's time and time allows. I hope that helps you guys. That is the end of the boot camp. Hope you're ready to rock your mock and get out there and get your job. See ya!